Hey there, YouTube. Pastor Rick Malloy here, Truth Pastor TV. Welcome to the show. Today's topic is, are we alone? Are we the only people in the galaxy? And to get the answer to that, you actually have to do some research. Growing up, I used to think, yeah, we're all in this ever-expanding universe. God created us. We are His ultimate creations. But let's face it, God's been around forever and ever. And who's to say that He didn't create other civilizations out there? A lot of people, religious people and religious sects will say, well, geez, that changes everything. That just changes my whole perspective of God and religion. Well, really it shouldn't. Because who are we that God should tell us that He created other things out in the universe? We're really nobody. We're His creation, so He doesn't have to answer to us. And who's to say that He didn't? And the proof just hasn't been found yet. Maybe He told Moses or Jesus and other people in the past, and it just wasn't recorded anywhere. One of the people that's bringing this out, this whole topic to the forefront, is a gentleman by the name of Dr. Stephen Greer. You might have heard of what he's been doing on things like the Disclosure Project, the Orion Project, just to name a couple, Unacknowledged. He's been out there now for a long time disclosing this stuff. And yes, people have had their lives ruined trying to discredit them when they came forward. People have actually lost their lives, were put to death in mysterious suicides and accidents and so on. But Dr. Stephen Greer has over 400 people that have come forth from different military organizations, Navy, Army, Marines, people that have worked in black budget projects, people from organizations like Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works, who are organizations that have taken technology that we found from downed alien crafts and reverse engineered these things. As a matter of fact, the first microchips all came about from the Roswell incident. Your phones have technology in it that's came from alien technology. Now, why has this been covered up? Why shouldn't we, the public, be able to know what has happened and what is going on now? And at first, you can understand a little bit of the secrecy. Let's face it, whatever country found this technology, they certainly don't want it getting into the wrong hands. But spaceships have crashed all over the world. I mean, many in Mexico and Russia, France, the UK, and the U.S. of course has several down crafts from different species. So if you go out there and you do a little bit of research, just look at what comes up when you type in UFO, disclosure, alien technology, and you'll be led to some of the information that's out there. Everything you see today in the sky, we are at least 50 years ahead of that technology. We already have power sources that have been reverse engineered that can run this entire planet without the use of fossil fuels. So why aren't they coming forward with this? It's very simple. Money. Money. And the root of evil. The government's trying to keep all this stuff under wraps. They're hiding this technology from us. And it's going to come. And in my personal opinion, I don't know, I think Trump might be the one to actually get this going. Let's face it, with this new project of his, the Space Force, I think that's where he's starting. Why do we need a Space Force if there's nothing out there to be worried about? Now, when you listen to Dr. Stephen Greer and others that have come forward with information, most of the aliens that have crashed on this planet, aliens have met with people like the President Dwight Eisenhower. There was a peace treaty signed, and apparently, from my understanding, the aliens did not hold up their end of that agreement, and everything fell apart. But they are on this planet. They're living in underground caves in places like Los Alamos, some of the other underground installations, Dulce, New Mexico, and yeah, they're here. They're here, and they've been interacting with us for as long as we've been here. And I'm sure previous civilizations might have even thought of these people as gods, because they taught them how to build. Let's face it, the pyramids, and it would be impossible for humans to have moved those huge blocks, many tons of blocks, and built them up as high as they did without the help of something advanced. That's my belief. But it doesn't take away from the fact that there is one God that is eternal, has been forever, and will be forever. So if you're a Roman Catholic or Anglican or agnostic or whatever you believe, don't be discouraged by these things coming out. That doesn't mean there is no God. It just means that he didn't tell us. Or if he did, like I said, maybe it just hasn't been found yet. But I'd like you folks to do a little bit of dwelling into this. Don't take my word for it. Don't assume when you hear aliens, UFOs, advanced technology, stuff like that. Don't assume that it's a conspiracy theory. Folks, that's the government's way of belittling people that come forward, of discrediting people that come forward. Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. Not everything is a conspiracy. Some of it is the truth. And some of the technology that they're using right now is ripping this world apart. Programs like HAARP, they've got direct energy weapons now, lasers, that they're using to seed the clouds to start rain. But what are the implications of using this technology of controlling the weather? Yeah, you might be able to control the weather in one area, but is it causing problems elsewhere in the world? When you look at what's going on today in the world, it's being ripped apart. Why? Is it global warming? No, I don't think so. I think global warming is a crock of shit. Man-made pollution is causing global warming. Greenhouse gases are causing global warming. Emissions from cars. Absolutely, they're probably causing some damage. But what about all the fucking bombs going off in the world? Nuclear bombs, the power of the technology that the government has their hands on, punching holes in the ozone, putting rockets out into space and satellites into space. I think that's causing more problems than the fumes coming out of our cars, than cigarettes and greenhouse gas. Definitely, I think it's causing a hell of a lot more problems. You can only set off so many bombs in this world without it coming back to bite us in the ass. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you like what you've heard, please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, because we're going to be talking about a lot more than aliens and technology and stuff like that. The lies have to stop. The government has to accept the fact that we're smarter than that. We're not, because you come out, if the mainstream media, which of course you don't hear nothing but bullshit and whatever propaganda they're trying to push, you're not going to hear the truth on mainstream news. But if they ever come forward and say, it's been proven now, the government has known about aliens forever, do you think people are going to freak out and go crazy and loot and rob and steal and kill and go into total mayhem? I think we're a lot smarter than that. I think the government underestimates us. Yeah, there's a lot of fools out there, let's face it. But these are people that are crazy to start with. So, thank you so much for joining me. Please go check out some of these topics that I mentioned, like the Disclosure Project. Check out Unacknowledged. Check out Dr. Stephen Greer, Phil Schneider. Do a little due diligence, and we'll see you in the next one. I want to thank you so much for joining me today on Truth Pastor TV. And stay tuned, we got some exciting stuff coming up. Also, I'd like to give a big shout out to my son Pat, who started his own channel, YG TV, WHYGEE. He's doing some of these 3 a.m. challenges, and he's talked me into helping out. So go give him a big shout, like and subscribe on his channel, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless. Peace, folks.